Hello, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade here to share a word of inspiration with you on your path to self realization and self mastery. I am just coming on really quickly to share some thoughts that I don't want to lose, but have been on my mind for days. I've been wanting to come on and talk to you all just to see how you're doing. It's rough. It's not all around bad for me, but I do know that the planetary alignment is very challenging. Um, but I do think, sometimes we go through the rough times in order to get to the better times, so that when we get to those good times, they are like really, really good. So the other day I was thinking on something. I don't even remember what it was, but I was thinking on something, and it was sort of like I had an aha moment. And in that moment, I began to think to myself, I need to lock this in. And I just started pondering, like really, really deeply, deeply thinking. Pondering is actually a superpower for me. I started realizing how good pondering is for me when I was going through my initiation. And, we think about the word ponder, we use the word ponder, ponder on your thoughts. I was pondering something the other day, but if you study the metanetter, it actually says that under the energy of Sekart, deep protracted thinking, which I call pondering, is one of the things that are indicated when you're working with the energy of Sekart. And the energy of deep protracted thinking is, it's almost like, for me, when I ponder something, like I said, number one, it gets locked into me. And then number two, sometimes, like the other day, I got the wisdom, I pondered it so that it like became one with my programming. I do believe in writing things down too. But also, sometimes I ponder and the solution comes to me. So there is power in pondering. It is an underutilized spiritual tool, especially in this very, I call it Sebekian world of, these second long commercials, social media, swipe, swipe, swipe. What do we call those things? Sound bites. Pondering is something that a lot of us may not be utilizing. And it's, now we'll say we ponder it when we worry. We're good at pondering our worries. We're good at saying, oh, I'm worried about something. And you think long and deeply on that thing that you are worried about. But I encourage us to choose to ponder. It's almost like a trance state. I remember one of the things that I did. I don't even remember how I got there, but I do remember when I was initiating, I was sitting and just pondering one day, and I could see clear as day, how the universe was made up, or how it looks with me. And I got to this place where I said, okay, well, what I see is there's one great divine consciousness. Okay, I'm back. We're all extensions of this one divine consciousness. And so I began, and then that became a part of my spiritual philosophy, that literally I can see everything extends from the one divine consciousness. Now, I had been told that, but it wasn't until that deep pondering that, and I saw it for myself, it came to me in my spirit, that I said, yes, that is true. That is what I see as the truth of all of reality. And then I started listening to spiritual teachers, and they are saying the same thing. And so these are the benefits of pondering. So there is power in pondering, deep, deep thinking, where, meditation is more of like a beingness. Pondering is I guess it's a form of meditation, but it's definitely one that involves a level of the mind being influenced or affected. Maybe even meditative thinking. So let me know your thoughts. Do you ponder? Have you figured out the power in pondering? The other thing that I'm sort of vlogging at this point is, as I was pondering, I have been studying myself through my astrological chart. And in particular, I use the whole sign systems because my chart, I was born in Alaska. My chart is so skewed. As a new student of astrology, I just could not figure this thing out. And so, using the whole sign system, I am Scorpio rising. And you see me look off like this, that's a way, that's sort of like my way of downloading. When I look off, I download that way. Anyway, I am a Scorpio rising. So my eighth house is Gemini. And I've been like, I have no planets whatsoever in that house. And so I was just sort of like curious, really, how does this manifest? Because the eighth house has to do with transformation. It's actually the house whose theme is set by Scorpio. And so when one of the things that you can think about your eighth house is when you go through transformation, what will help you use that or deal with that transformation, when you're having hard times. And it's sort of like things that we already know about, but if we operate, as I say, from awareness and a greater conscious place, then we are able to we're able to better be one with the way that we cope. And so Gemini, of course, has to do with communication. I've always been like, I noticed myself after I dropped off my son at the Coast Guard Academy, I was just chatter, 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 posting, 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 to the point where somebody got irritated with me. And I was like, I'm sorry, and actually I started thinking to myself, why am I doing this? Because typically, I'm not sharing everything. But I said, oh, okay, I'm going through transformation. And so post, 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 post. Reading. If I really want to soothe my soul, reading. And so let's say you don't have Gemini in your eighth house. It might be that you have Mercury in your eighth house. So having Mercury in the eighth house could generate this, okay? Yeah, I realized that I'd love to read. Reading just makes me feel so good. Listening to books on tape, all forms of communication. Journaling has always been key and pivotal to me. Vlogging now, just really using all sorts of media types. By the same token, I notice the things that help me are the things that I try to pass on to other people. So, like, I'm really good at okay, so one of the main things I'll tell people is use affirmations. So I've used affirmations for myself to deal with transformation, but it's also, I become good at this way of dealing with transformation and I can pass it on to other people. This can be my area of expertise when it comes to transformation. So that's been something that's sort of neat for me, really realizing that. Also, Mercury has to do with learning. And I've noticed that here lately, it's in my chart to be doing things to learn. I should be learning right now, learning new skills, because that's what Gemini has a lot to do with, learning new skills. And so I noticed that a lot of times when I'm like, I don't know what to do, I'm feeling so frustrated, I will go pick up social media and stuff like that, which I want to stop, but I will definitely look to learn something. It's like, okay, well, I'm going through this. What can I learn about this to help me deal with it? So um, that's something else to think about. So I just wanted to share that here so that I don't forget. But also, I do encourage you to understand your eighth house. You do have to know your time of birth if you want your true eighth house. If you don't know your time of birth, then starting with your sun sign, count to 8 back. So let's say your sun sign is Pisces. You don't know your time of birth, then it would be Pisces, Aquarius. No, no, no. Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. So I guess Libra. Yeah, it would be Libra. So then that would be the ruler of your eighth house. And even still, so for instance, I'm a Pisces sun. And with Libra being there, more than likely I would doing something in relationship with other people. I'm a very relational person. Doing all things, finding balance, because Libra is about having balance. So putting things in place that create balance would help bring that person whose eighth house is ruled by Libra. If you have Leo in the eighth house, then that would let you know you need to do something inspirational, fun, hobbies, maybe go acting, doing creative things. So whatever's in your eighth house, that's how you deal with transformation. And it also, it's like things we can do to actually help ourselves transform if we want to take charge of it instead of just waiting for y'all to come and kick our butt. Let's just go on ahead and do what we need to do to kick our own butt. So it's so much easier if you prune yourself. Hope that this has been helpful to you. I hope to be back again soon. Wishing you all a great week leading up to the new moon, which is a solar eclipse in Leo. We are in the spiritual new year, astrologically speaking. So, what inspires you? Think about that. What can you do to live a more inspired life that will keep you moving towards the goals that you have set forth for yourself? These are the things that we need to be doing, rededicating our lives to our destiny. Wishing you all an amazing day. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like the video. Please share the video. Visit my website, goddessbodymindspirit.com. And I would love to read for you if you need a reading. Just look me up. Thank you. Peace.